Hello everyone and welcome to Crypto Ripto. I'm Christian and in today's video we're going to be talking about a brand new token that just launched today, and that is Kasta. Now Kasta is getting a lot of hype because it's got some massive big hitters of social media influencers backing the token. But it's a big question going out there on the market at the moment. Is Kasta a scam token? Is Kasta a good project? Or is Kasta just something that's going to get overhyped by a lot of people getting rich in Dubai? Well, if you want to know more about Kasta and what my thoughts are and the pros and cons on it, stay tuned and let's get into the video. Before I start today's awesome video, I have to say anything you see or choose to ignore is not financial advice. No, this bad boy is here for your educational purposes only. Know that because we have to do that little bit of lingo jingo. So now let's move on to what is Kasta. Well, Kasta is a token that's launching today and it is doing absolutely phenomenal. In my eyes, I think it is outperforming what the developers and the team behind it thought it would do. I mean, it's not a massive surprise considering the big hit influencers behind it like Cole the Moon, Ivan the Tech, just to name a few. But is Kasta a viable project? Are the tokenomics a bit too complex for people? And is Kasta going to go to the moon like a lot of people are saying? Well, we'll have a look at Kasta's website. We'll have a look at what kind of the people are saying in the industry. And we'll also have a look at what they're saying on Twitter. Before this, we'll also go into what I think are the pros and cons of buying Kasta at the moment. So let's jump straight into Kasta's website and see what they're saying. Boom. So as you can see behind me, we've got Kasta's website. And they say that their mission is they want to steer the world towards worldwide cryptocurrency adoption and crypto-based economy. Pretty standard, but we do get the gist of what they are trying to do. And at this point, I have to say that I do think their roadmap is quite solid and they have had some good people look into this project and come up with what I think is the idea of crypto. And that is to take the payment of cryptocurrency and make it a lot more easier, and also the big transition from cryptocurrency into the fiat world. And if they manage to pull this off, it is going to be a massive win. Now there is a lot of projects and companies trying to do this to rival obviously the big fiat hitters like Visa and MasterCard, but I think with the influence and the tech behind it, what these have got, if they pull it off, it could be good. Now it says about controlled innovation, create convenience. It's also got their team. Obviously, like you say, we've got Carl from the Moon. We've got a couple of co-founders here. And they do seem to have a pretty big, strong team. Now, what I like about this team as well is they're not hiding behind cloak and dagger. Actually face to their project, which is really good. And if you're going to trust in a project and you are a little bit confused about the tokenomics of it, this is really good to see that you've got people with big reputations on the line here of being a crypto influencer would not really put their name to this if they thought this was not a viable project. Now you've got obviously the top board people here like the CEO, CTO, CM and CPO. And then you've got the developers, operational managers, media and analytics. Now this is really good to see. You've also got advisors down here, which are a couple of names you've probably heard of on the crypto scene, and also their partners like Ivan the Tech, his new kind of technology in Moralis, which seems to be doing really well at the moment. Now, I have looked into Moralis when Ivan was first bringing it out, and I've looked into Moralis since, and I really do like that technology. And I think it's making things in the crypto space a lot more simple and a lot more stable, in my opinion. And of course they're doing it on the Polygon Matic powered by the network, which is really cool as well. But go over to the website and have a look just to get your feel of the team, especially if you're just invested in this token or you are looking to invest in this token, because I do think this will give you a little bit of reassurance. Now I do also have to say at this point, I'm not affiliated with Kasta. There are a couple of people that are in that crypto space which I do really like and I do follow, and I think so far over the last year they've not really told any BS, especially this guy that I'll give a mention down here, the Martini guy. He doesn't really talk a lot of crap. He's pretty honest, he's pretty to the point and says it how it is. And I can't imagine he would put his name to this with the other likes of Ivan the Tech and Cole the Moon if he thought this project was going to be a scam, like some of the videos saying on YouTube, which I personally don't agree with. I do think their tokenomics are very complex, and I do think they can be misleading about how you buy your bit, and you only get an allocation of Kasta to your bit, and the bit that you buy, whether you put $10,000 in or $100,000 in, does get locked up for 5 days, which I'll come to on the pros and cons in a minute towards the end of this video. But let's have a look at Kasta's Twitter page, because obviously, as you know, the social media platform on this is absolutely blowing up. And there's no surprise with Cole being one of the co-founders of this being all over, which is really, really not surprised. But, you know, every project does need a good level of marketing. It does need a good level of backing. And I think what's more important about this now, I don't know this team. I've not had a chance to interview them or speak to them, probably because they are massively busy with the launch. But influencers that get backed in projects cannot win everyone over. You've got some people that want the marketing, get the big influencers on board to push it, because we've invested in a token, and without the marketing, the token's going to die. And if you don't do enough marketing, you're going to get an arrow in the back. Then you've got the other investors on the other hand are saying, oh, big influencers are just shilling it, they're just pushing it, they're just after their own benefits, they're going to dump on you, they're going to do what obviously a lot of the other influencers have done. So you're never going to be able to win everyone over in the crowd. But you can use a little bit of education and think, have a look at a lot of Cole's videos, have a look at a lot of the Martini guys' videos even, for instance, and these are not in the same bracket, in my opinion, and you can leave a comment below, as the likes of BitBoy Crypto, as the likes of just the Soldier Boys and all the Twitter pumpers and dumpers that are only in it for a pay. These are seasoned veteran crypto influencers that have a massive reputation on the line here, and they've worked years and hard to build up a reputation just to throw it away to tie it to one deal. In my opinion, I know if I was in their space as a crypto influencer, I wouldn't want to put my name to something I wasn't 100% backing and behind, because I wouldn't want to work this hard for this long space where I'm going to grow, to throw it all away to try and make a quick fast buck, when most of these people have already made that anyway. The money aspect is not the main driver. Obviously, it's a big influence driver, because these want a long-term sustainability job in crypto, because that is their life and that's what they enjoy. But they don't want a quick buck, because they can get that from anywhere else by playing in the shadows and just maybe promoting a few videos on their channel, or just getting involved in something behind the scenes. But to go and put their faces to a website and behind this is one level beyond, in my opinion. So for the people thinking this is a scam or it's going to be a rug pull, I think you can genuinely say that out of all the projects on there, this has got a lot more behind it and will have more sustainability if the roadmap pulls off. Now, if we just go back to the website and we do have a look at their roadmap, you can see here it's very ambitious. Now, the Q1 of 2021, when they started this, they got their idea together. They've done their strategy, they've got the development team in, then they've put the operation into practice in order to get their portfolio up, to get their launch day ready for their token and the launch to beat. Now, I think that this is an untested and unproven software. There's absolutely nothing there yet. Now, you see here, easy swap engine and launch of the beta, which is, you know, just obviously their exchange part of it, but that whole thing that they're looking to do, which is bring exchange crypto to fiat, the buying of the BTC deposits and stuff like that, that is all up and coming. Now, they do need the funding to do that, because obviously, as you can imagine, all the hard work and funding has been done by the individuals and the team behind it and their investors. But for me, the meat of this project is going to come in Q2 of this year and Q3, with obviously a lot of the transfers and the yield and the exchanges. Go over to their roadmap and see that if they can pull this off, this is going to be an absolute mammoth of a project. Now, this could be up there with rivaling a lot of the payment systems. And if they are, and I know they are clever behind it and they want to get in, they could even get into the sort of areas of the play to earn game. Because for me, there's a big gap in the market at the moment for people getting their money from the play to earn into it quickly enough. I mean, there is big companies, payment companies out there like PayPal and Engine and stuff that do it, but they don't do a broader range of package. For me, I'm not going to go into details because it's not for this video. There's only a couple of companies that are bringing the technology to market. Now, these I think will, with Ivan on the tech behind them and with their stack developer, their brainwave of the team, we'll be looking at that. I have no doubt. Whether they're going to address that, whether they're going to do anything on the back of that, I don't know. But coming back to what I think is the more tangible investment of this. Now, I'm just going to pop up something that I've been looking at, which is, to me, the pros and cons of what I think buying this token is today. So as you can see, the first pro I've put up there is one I've just really touched on, is the project idea is solid. And I think if they hit the roadmap, they will have a good tangible project here in their hands. But it all depends if they can achieve all that they want to achieve. They, again, like I said in the earlier part of the video, they've had a good launch with some massive big social media hitters behind them, and they've been hyping this up to the max. Also, they've got good real people behind the project. Again, like I said, they've got faces behind their project. They've got people that are in the knowledge in crypto, have been around the game for a long time. They would also have other people that are very smart in this space that we don't know about, or we've not seen in the wings, looking into this. So for me, they are some of the top pros that you would be looking at when investing in this project. Now, the costs come as no surprise with the very complex token setup. The way you buy it from Bybit and the way that you have to stake your bit, and then you allocated your Kasta based on how you stake your bit. And the pricing around that could fluctuate. It could be the fact that you can have a small amount of Kasta, which could be worth maybe 100x if it shoots up, which it could, but if it doesn't and you're locked into bit and it comes down pretty quickly, like God forbid a pump and a dump, you could hold in the baton of a bad investment. But personally, I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to see a bit more sustainability on this, and I will touch on it in the video just before the end of what their staking plans are and how they split the tokens up and what their dev team have to lock in, or their team have to lock in before they can start selling and dumping their token. Now, another con is there's no product yet, as it's just an idea. They've got the beta of the token swap, but all their cool stuff and the apps and the payment plans and stuff like this, which is the real chunk of what they're basing Kasta on, doesn't exist that we can use as of yet. Also, what is a massive ring for me is the way the bit money is locked in for 5 days, because that's effectively you staking your bit for 5 days, which they could use as a platform for thinking that you've got a staking a lot larger than it actually is, because they want to look to see that they've got a lot more money in the pool than they actually have. And then when that 5 days locks up, you could have, again, like I touch on at the end of here, a lot of whales dumping their bit, and you could be, if you're not the loop quick enough, again holding the baton wrong end of the deal, which obviously for me is not ideal. But I want to go over and have a look at the tokenomics on Bybit before you buy into there. It is quite complex. Now, there is a couple of videos that try and explain it out on YouTube. One is absolutely shocking in my opinion, but if you look in the comments, there are some clever people in the comments that do actually explain this. And if you know about this, please leave a comment below, because for the sake of this video, I didn't have time to go into this. But if enough people want me to go into the tokenomics of this, they can leave a comment below and I will actually go into it. Boom. So that's just my pros and cons, what I look at when I look to buy a token. And with Kasta having so much hype and social media, big hitters, I did want to do a pros and cons, which I don't normally do on my videos, but I just wanted to look into a bit more detail of this because it has got a lot of influencer hype behind it. So I wanted everyone on Crypto Ripto to be a little bit more sure than going into this. But just jumping back over to their website now, I will say that this does explain what the Kasta token is. What is it? What is it? What is it used for? And also what their plans are to have a customized debit card, earn Kasta by inviting your friend, the tokenomics breakdown, which I won't go through everything, but if you go over there, they do see about what it is they break down the token on, and it is massive. To be honest, that token is getting sliced and diced in more ways than you can shake a baby's rattle at. But for me, it's the allocation, the vesting and the allocation of where the token goes and when it gets unlocked and how long is it locked for. Now, for advisors saying that 6 months, big numbers, which to me are, I don't know, they do mean that they are looking to be very sustainable in this project. Now, the 100% unlocking for the TGE and the exchange and marketing goes without saying, because obviously you need that available, and the rewards and earning. But for me, the team, with 181 days after listing, does mean that they are looking to have a lot of this tied up for that period of time, which they can unlock at the beginning of maybe 31 days, 91 days. But there, have a look at that, because I think it will give you a bit more reassurance if they do stick to that actual program. But I think a lot of it will be in the contract as well, which you can obviously readily look at if you choose to go that deep dive into this project, which not a lot of people do, but I would advise you do. So for me, this is what you need to be looking at Kasta if you want to invest into it. I'm not saying you should, because it's not financial advice. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I personally am not buying into Kasta because I think the hype on the day one's there. A lot of people saying get Kasta at this because it is going to go up, and it is. I didn't get in the pre-sale. I heard about Kasta a few weeks ago, and I didn't bother going on the whitelist or investing into it, just because I think complex tokenomics are not for me, and the pros and cons didn't just quite weigh up. If Kasta becomes a more lucrative, a more established crypto company, then if Kasta's doing well, maybe there is money to be made there. But I think anything on the back of a launch this late on in the crypto area, which I know a lot of people are going to disagree on, but I'm just giving you my personal opinion, this late on in the crypto season is not something I would want to look into, because for me, as I've always said, I think we've got a few months, first quarter, maybe beginning of second quarter, before we see a blow off top and crypto sort of decreases, and we're not going to see anything sustainable from Kasta in that period of time. So that's something just to bear in mind. But I don't think this token is actually a scam. So I just wanted to put that bit of information to bed because of the reasons I've said in the video. But again, drop me a like, drop me a comment. I hope you smash that like bar, hit that subscribe button and tickle that bell notification, because it does help the video. And I do try and give honest opinions as and when I deep dive into things. Always, what crypto Ripto, trade smart, trade safe, and don't get wrecked.